Hey guys, I'm Scott Cochran with US Rider News, and in case you didn't see the last video we did, blog, we picked up this 2014 Indian Chieftain at Indian Motorcycles of Charlotte, and we put a little over 300 miles, 347 miles on it so far. Rode it back basically from Charlotte to Georgia. And there's a couple of things that we've noticed right off the bat about the bike that we absolutely love. One thing is the styling, of course. I'll move out of the way so you can see this bike. Indian did so much right with the styling on this bike. They used the fenders, of course, that you're used to seeing. You know, those fenders, that front fender is iconic. And the rest of the bike pretty much just stayed true to the Indian vision. And it's a great bike. It looks good. Whenever you pull up, riding it back, every time I stop to get gas, every time, and I stopped about 3 times to gas up and 1 time to take a photo. But every time I stopped, somebody asked, what year is that bike? And now, you may not think that's cool, but I like that. I like that with these bikes that have a sort of a retro look, because I like it because people engage with you and you get a chance to talk to them about not just this bike, but about motorcycling in general. So that's what I like about the bike. Part of what I like about the bike. Some other things we're going to show you in a later video. The windshield is motorized. You can adjust it up and down on the fly. So you're riding down the road like last night coming in. I'm riding down the road. It's 30 minutes after dark and I get in bug holler. These bugs were everywhere. I wear a full face Arai helmet, luckily, but I was able to raise that windshield up and keep a lot of those bugs off of my face and off the helmet I've got. Now, I did have an issue. Cranked the bike up. The battery indicator light started flashing. It stayed that way for 20 miles or so till I stopped, cut the bike off to do something else. And then turned it back on. Now, I never saw any loss of charge. The headlights were strong. Checked with my contact at Indian Motorcycles, Robert Pandya. Robert checked with some folks and said, hey, you know, it's one of 2 things. More likely it's the key fob itself is going, it has a battery issue. And that's the other thing that I want to tell you about this bike. There's a key fob with this bike. All right, you see that? Yeah, lock and unlock. Now, you think, a key fob, what does a bike need a key fob for to lock and unlock? I don't know if you can hear that. It's an audible click. And it locks the saddlebags. You see those saddlebags right there? That's an automatic lock. Hey, how cool is that? You know, that's just one of the little features of this bike. Now, they're going to send me a couple of backrests. Right now there's no luggage rack for it. So I'm kind of got an issue of how am I going to get the bag on the bike to go 2 up out to South Dakota. We're just going to have to figure out something for my tour pack bag to sit on that back fender. The other issue that I'm a little concerned about, frankly, is heat from this front cylinder. You know, I noticed it enough on the ride back to notice it. So we're going to be doing a lot of daytime riding on the way out to Sturgis, a lot of interstate riding, and it's going to be hot. So we're going to see how that works. I'll show you here in a screenshot of exactly how that cylinder looks, and it's just on the right side of your leg right here. So it's basically right here on this area where a lot of heat is generated. It may not be a problem, but we'll see. All right, 350 miles. I'm going to do some riding this weekend. Probably put another 150 miles on it this weekend. I'd put more, but I got work to do. Running a magazine isn't the easiest thing in the world, especially when you're trying to make money at it. But stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed this little segment, and I'll do this maybe once or twice a week after I put some miles on it, get some more feel for how the bike is, because there's a lot of interest in Indian right now, and rightly so, because Indian with Polaris behind it, Indian has turned into a major player in the heavyweight cruiser market. And regardless of how you feel about the whole Indian versus Harley war, whether Indian is a victory, you know, just put all that aside a minute and think about it in one term. The more competition you have in the marketplace, the more innovation you have in the marketplace. So from that respect, it's a good thing. And by no means am I saying that we want to see Harley Davidson hurt at all. I love Harleys. My first motorcycle was a Harley. But we just want to have more innovation and more good, friendly competition. Imagine if we were the only motorcycle magazine in the world. My banker would like that, but it wouldn't be good for the industry. All right, you guys, have a good weekend and ride safe.